Thank you all so much for tuning in to Connect. We've got a very data-specific episode coming your way right now. I'm here with Adwait Joshi. You're the founder of DataSeers.ai, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay, super cool. Tell us in a nutshell what that means.
So DataSeers is a data company. As the name suggests, we see through data.
Okay.
We're focused on banking and payments.
Okay.
And the idea is to use machine learning and artificial intelligence to find anomalies in the data that others typically won't see.
Okay, and we were just talking off camera before we started rolling about the difference, the DataSeers difference. So your AI helps to spot things that other people don't see. What are some examples? What would people be missing?
So before we get into that, I want to make sure that the listeners understand a very basic fact, right?
Please.
Machine learning and AI only works if you have clean and labeled data.
Yep.
So the biggest problem everybody has is they want to do machine learning, they want to do AI, and they have a lot of data, but A, it's not clean, and B, it's not labeled. A machine can identify a cat and a dog, but in order to train, it needs to know what a cat looks like and what a dog looks like.
100%.
So one of the things that we do very differently is when we bring the data in, we tag it, we clean it, and we label it. Data is absolutely ready for our machine learning algorithms to now pick up. What we do different is we actually bring in a lot of unrelated data. So I go and tell my clients, hey, can you send me all of your mobile phone data or your website data? And they're like, how is that relevant in payments? And then they see how it all matches up once our algorithms pick up little things here and there.
Wow.
That's what makes us really unique, is because the volume doesn't scare us. The velocity of data doesn't scare us. We actually welcome it. So we call it taming the data demon. And we have figured out a way to do that. So
taming the data demon. I think that's what we'll title this video. I love that. I'm always looking for catchy titles. That's great. That's so great. So who are your clients? Who is going to call or reach out to DataSeers.ai?
So let's focus on a very specific industry called as the prepaid.
Okay.
You know, thanks to the disruptors like Square Cash and Venmo, everybody's now moving towards that industry.
Yep.
Right? You don't get rebate checks anymore, you get a prepaid card. You know, government sending things back on a prepaid card. Government benefits are there, marijuana dispensing. I mean, you can name it. The spectrum is broad. The typical companies or the typical banks that issue these cards are smaller banks, because there is a lot of money to be made. And they don't have the tools that they need to handle the volume, velocity, and variety of these programs. Now, because there is so much mess, guess what it naturally attracts? The bad actors. And they can't identify that. So our specific or our typical client is a smallish, I'm going to say smallish, because it's not always the small, but small to medium, less than $10 billion bank.
Okay. Small to medium sized bank, less than $10 million.
10 billion.
10 billion, sorry.
Yep.
We're this 2018.
Yep, 2018.
There's a new barometer. Okay, and they're the ones who need your help sorting the data, taming the data demon, and then utilizing those insights that are now clean and labeled to do what?
To predict fraudulent behavior. So one of the things that we do very efficiently and differently than everybody else out there is we look through the data and we tell you if there is undetected fraud.
Wow.
We are not in line of fraud, so we call it out of line fraud. But the idea is, do you have any consumer on your platform that claims to be someone that he's not, or exhibits behavior that is going to shortly lead to fraud? Because the fraud has gone and advanced in many different ways. Nobody gets a card and starts acting fraudulently immediately. They know they'll get blocked. So what they do is they train the system. They test, and sometimes these tests go on for 6 months, 9 months. A great example would be, if I'm going to commit a tax fraud, I'm going to get a card the year before in the month of June or July. I'm going to keep using that card as if it was normal. I'm going to go to the gas station, fill gas, buy coffee, and when tax season hits, I'm going to file somebody's tax returns and I'm going to ask them to deposit the money on that card. Does not ring up any bells because that card is normal. There is no fraudulent pattern. I exhibited a perfectly normal pattern. And machines actually see that the rules don't trip because I haven't done anything out of the normal, out of ordinary, right? But that is a problem. And we can see those things better than most people can because of what we know, the expertise in the company, and the algorithms, which are very proprietary to what we have developed, goes beyond what traditional systems do.
Man, that's amazing. Have you seen the movie Catch Me If You Can?
Yes.
It's one of my favorites.
Yep.
I have a huge amount of respect for anybody who is taking technology to the next level in the fintech space, because there's so much opportunity both for disruption and for fraud. So it's great that you're working on this. How long has DataSeers.ai been around?
So the company has been around for about 18 months now.
Wow.
And we are growing very fast. We have won some awards, getting selected for presentations because of what we are doing.
Congrats.
But this comes because of two reasons. Domain expertise and choice of technology. Without that, we couldn't do what we are doing. So the company may be 18 months old, but I tell people I am 180 years old.
What did you do before this?
So I was a consultant in the payment space.
Okay.
And I saw myself over and over doing the same thing, trying to solve the same problems across the board.
Right.
And something had to be done. Right? You can't have 5 of me, but you can have a product that can be replicated pretty easily.
Brilliant, brilliant. Are you from Atlanta?
I've been here for a while.
Okay.
I've been here 15 years now.
Okay.
So not originally from here, originally from Mumbai.
Okay.
Born and brought up in Mumbai, went to school upstate New York, and then came to Atlanta and love the city.
Oh, well, so do I.
Yep.
It's a great place. How is it finding talent, finding tech talent for DataSeers?
So one of the things we do really well is we work with the universities. 2 weeks ago, we actually did a hackathon at KSU.
Great.
And the idea was that, hey, can we find top 5 smartest people in your college that can solve a problem?
Yeah.
And we did. And we are continuing to work with them. And the idea is that if you go grassroots level, you find 2 things. You find extremely passionate individuals because their school project is now coming to fruition. Right?
Yes.
And then 2, they are extremely hardworking. Right, because they want to show something. So it reminds me of me when I was working for Intel back in the day. They gave me a problem and said, hey, if you don't solve this problem, it's okay, nobody has been able to. And I said, what do you mean nobody has been able to? This is a problem and it has to be solved.
Yeah.
So I literally sat there 16, 18 hours a day in the lab and I solved the problem, in fact, 4 weeks earlier than what they had given me a deadline. So that's what happens when you are a young college kid, right? I have the same passion now, but I don't think I can sit there for 18 hours trying to do something. I'll get tired.
Right. That's great. I love that insight, and I love utilizing our local universities to pour into the next generation that is going to transform our technology landscape. For those watching, we reach not only a local Atlanta audience, but also a global audience because this lives on YouTube and social media. How can we as a community pour into you and DataSeers.ai?
So what we are looking for is we have a very unique technology set. And this goes out to the entire community. So we use the same technology that LexisNexis uses.
Wow.
And if you look at our problem and their problem, it's very similar. What do? They download thousands of documents and information from the internet, try to figure out how it is linked together and who it belongs to. And that's how they know that, I have a distant cousin in Missouri that I don't even know of, but they do, right? Similarly, we download information onto our devices from a lot of different sources and try to connect them together and basically identify that there is 2 individuals on this platform that seem to be related and they're actually committing fraud.
Ooh.
The sad part is there's not a lot of people out there that know this technology. They don't know what HPCC systems is. They don't know that it predated Hadoop. They don't know that in many ways that system is being used across the world, but we just can't announce it. I mean, you can Google it and try to search who uses it, but it's some pretty powerful people out there use this technology. But because this was a well-kept secret up until 2011, there's not a lot of people out there who know this. So what we are doing now is we are starting to teach this technology as a community outreach. Because if there is 5 people out there who know how to use ECL or HPCC systems, there is a lot of companies out there, including LexisNexis, that would want to hire them.
Wow.
So it's a reverse problem. It's a problem that I need people, I can't find them.
Right.
Right? So you got to train them. So it's a great thing that it is in the technology. The reason for our success is what we use and how we use it. But that what is a very important piece. And its HPCC systems makes us do things that traditional systems don't.
Okay. So for people who want to learn more about DataSeers.ai, you go to DataSeers.ai, and we'll
Absolutely.
have that link in our description below. And for people that want to connect with you, if you are writing thought leadership pieces or active on LinkedIn or social media, where might they connect with you?
I am on LinkedIn,
Okay.
and it's easy to find me. I'm a musician.
Oh!
I'm a restaurateur. I own DataSeers as a company, founded it. So I am out there. I speak at different events, do a lot of presentations, go and teach at universities. So you'll find me.
Great, great. Well, we'll do some internet sleuthing.
Absolutely.
And perhaps pop some links to connect with you personally as
Absolutely.
well, because you're fascinating and engaging and doing some really cool things in this tech space.
Thank you.
So Adwait Joshi, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you for what you're doing. And for everybody out there watching, make sure you connect with him. Thank you.